just turn the light on here so it's a bit, maybe a bit better lighting for you. But yeah, apologies if you're watching that last one. Don't know what happened there. Gremlins in the Wi-Fi, whole network just collapsed. So apologies for watching that one. Thought I'd start it again. And as I was explaining in that last little about 20 seconds I had before the system cut off, a bit quiet Arsenal at the moment. We're in a bit of a lull between the end of the season and the summer really kicking off. So I thought I'd pop on today. Rather than just do one of the usual videos, I'll do a bit of a Q&A. You know, I've got about 20 minutes at the moment. Thought I'd just pop on, you know, fire your questions in. Let's talk about whatever you want to see this summer. I know that transfers are always the thing that really interests you all. Like I said, there's not too much going on at the moment since the story I put out a couple of weeks. No, it was last week, wasn't it? It was after last Wednesday night's game about Arwa, things like that. Not Arwa, sorry, about Buendia. It's all just a little bit quiet at the moment. Lots of speculation and all that, you know, various names being linked with Arsenal and everything like that. But I'll try and tell you or answer your questions here about anything that you want to know. If I can give you an update or anything like that, I will. But like I said, you know, some of the stories, some of it is just speculation that I don't know anything about. So it'll be hard for me to really answer anything like that. So we'll just go straight into it. Fire away, get your questions in. Is Grealish, I didn't see who that was, but someone asked, is Grealish on Arsenal's transfer list? I'm sure it'd be on everyone's transfer list. Are Arsenal going to sign Jack Grealish this summer? If that's what you're asking me, then for me, the answer is just no. It would cost far too much money. I can't see Arsenal doing it at all. I'd just be absolutely stunned. Look, I hope I'm absolutely wrong. This is me basing that on opinion. It's not basing it on any facts. I haven't heard anything about Arsenal being interested in him. Maybe, you never know, Stan Kroenke might suddenly throw a load of money at Arsenal and let them do a deal like that. But as far as I'm aware, where Arsenal are looking in the transfer market this summer, I have not heard anything about Jack Grealish being on that list to Arsenal. So I would, if you're really getting excited that Jack Grealish could come to Arsenal, I think you might end up being a little bit disappointed on that. Someone asking about Guendouzi there. In my opinion on Guendouzi, I think Guendouzi is going to be one of the players sold. We're going to see a lot of Arsenal players head out the door this summer, and I think Guendouzi will certainly be on that list. I'll be very, very surprised. I don't see him coming back and featuring Arteta's plans. He's only got a year left on his contract. I think that one, if Arsenal can get any sort of deal done for Guendouzi, then he will be heading out the door. Unfortunately for Arsenal, because I do like Guendouzi. I think it's a real talented player there. It just hasn't worked out under Mikel Arteta, and I think that's one of the departures we will see this summer. A lot of people are asking about Max Aarons there. I don't know. I can't give you a definitive answer from my end on Max Aarons at the moment. I know Arsenal have had an interest in Aarons in the past. Whether that interest is there this summer, I don't know. I haven't had any information on that myself. I know that they're certainly looking at Buendia, Max Aarons' teammate at Norwich, but I don't know if he is on their list of right back targets this summer. But all I do know is that Arsenal will sign a right back. I'd be very surprised if Arsenal don't sign a right back this summer. It's certainly one of their priorities. Reece Nelson says, and can do. I think he will be one of the players who will go this summer. What's the point of him staying? There's no point of him staying. He should have gone in January, to be honest. He's clearly not part of Arteta's plans. He's not going to get any game time. Arsenal aren't even in Europe next season, so he's not going to get any game time in the group stages of the Europa League. So what is the point in Reece Nelson staying? There is no point. He's just kind of wasted the last 6 months of his career, really. Sitting on the bench, not even making it on the bench most of the times, in fact. He should have gone in January. I don't know why he didn't. Arsenal had some loan deals lined up for him. Him and his agent decided they didn't want to take it, and he ended up staying. And I don't see that point. I think it's best for all parties this summer if Reece Nelson heads out the door. Scott says, any deals done before the Euros? Look, Arsenal obviously would like that to happen. Every club would like that to happen. It's not always the easiest thing to do. You see it all the time. Every time there's a major tournament, before the managers always saying they want to get their business done early. But it is always very, very hard. Players head off on holiday. Club officials head off on holiday. It's very difficult to get things done. Mikel Arteta was asked about it in one of his last press conferences before the end of the season. And even he said that it's doubtful that sort of thing is going to happen in terms of certainly getting the majority of your work done before. You might get one. I mean, someone like Buendia, I think Arsenal if something's going to happen with Buendia, I think it will happen pretty quickly because Norwich want it. Norwich will want to know where they stand with Buendia, and before the new season, they won't want it dragging on. There's going to be lots of interest in Arsenal in Buendia. Arsenal and Aston Villa are both in for him. Other Premier League clubs too. There's interest from abroad, so doesn't really feel like one that you're going to be able to wait for. I think something like Buendia that'll happen pretty early, but for the rest, for the large majority of deals, again, I think we're probably going to have to wait until after the Euros is done. Odegaard or Buendia, which one suits Arsenal properly? That's an interesting question. I mean, look, I really like Emi Buendia and I really like Martin Odegaard. My issue with Odegaard, and I really like him, I thought he was great against Brighton on the final day, and that was almost back to the sort of form he was showing before he got his injury. My only issue with him is I'm not sure if he's going to ever score enough goals. I think your attacking midfielders, your number 10s, you need them to chip in with goals. You can't just rely on the strikers. You need someone who's going to get in a lot. And I know Buendia was playing in the Championship, so the level is way, way down, but he still chipped in with, 15 goals he scored last season. And I'm not sure Odegaard will ever get to that sort of number. And I'm not saying Buendia would in the Premier League as well, but I feel like Buendia might be more of a goal threat than Odegaard. So it's a tough one. Look, both of them are excellent players. And when you compare what they've done at the highest level, you have to say Odegaard's ahead of Buendia at the moment because Odegaard's done it in Spain. He was brilliant for Sociedad. He's done it for Arsenal since he's come over. Buendia was pretty decent in the Premier League in his season, but he did only score one goal that season. So, there are still questions about him at the very, very top level. But I think if Arsenal get either of those two this summer, then they're certainly going to be stronger in terms of their squad for next season. Someone asking about Joe Willock there. This is a really difficult one. Now, I personally, before he went on loan, or when he went on loan, I figured that he would certainly go this summer. I think his form has made it more difficult for Arsenal because when you're a team who struggles to score goals from midfield, like Arsenal are, it's very hard to justify selling a midfielder who has just scored 7 goals in 7 games in the Premier League. But still, personally, I think if a decent bid comes in, and I'm talking more than the 20 million that Newcastle are hoping to get Joe Willock for. I think if Arsenal sell Joe Willock for 20 million, given what he's done on loan, then it's an absolute shambles. Not that I'd put it past Arsenal doing something like that. So they're in a really difficult position, I think, Arsenal with Willock. I think ideally in January they would have probably thought if he has a good loan spell, then we'll sell him. Now maybe they're in a little bit more difficult position because of exactly what he's done. But you also have to look at it in another way. And I know a lot of you are saying, look, he's got to come back, he's got to play. But I look at it as will Willock's transfer fee ever be as high as this? We don't know. He could come back to Arsenal, not play too often, and suddenly his fee just goes down through the floor. And you think, why didn't you sell him in the summer when possibly you had bids of up to 30 million for him? So it's a difficult one. Personally, I think he'll probably end up going. I don't think you can really sign a Buendia or even a Odegaard and also have Willock, because it's just going to limit his opportunity even further. So I think personally, if a decent bid, if Arsenal can get around £30 million for Joe Willock, then I think they probably take that, and then you can spend that money elsewhere. But we'll have to wait and see how the summer progresses. Someone asking about Saliba there. I didn't see the exact question, but you're asking about Saliba with Luiz going. Is he going to be a replacement? I think he will certainly get the opportunity. That is the word we get from people we speak to at Arsenal, is Saliba will be given the opportunity this summer to come back, to play in pre-season, to train, and to try and impress Mikel Arteta and show that he is now ready to play for Arsenal in the first team next season. Whether he's going to come in and be a first team regular straight away, I personally don't think he will. I think Arsenal will certainly go at the start of next season. Again, we've got Holden, Mari and Gabriel, and there's a possibility the new centre-back will come in as well. But I do think that Saliba will be given opportunity to stake his claim for a first-team spot this summer. Lots of you asking about Bissouma. It's just non-stop Bissouma. In terms of that, I can't really add anything that's already out there, I'm afraid. He's a player that Arsenal like, that they want. They're saying that they want. He's certainly a player that Arsenal like, and he's on their list of targets. He's a player that they've got good connection to because of they know Bissouma's people, they know his agents, have dealt with them before. Bissouma's obviously best mates with Nicolas Pepe. We saw that after the game against Brighton, how close those two are. So they're in a good position. It's just about trying to get a deal done. I think Brighton are expecting Bissouma to go this summer. They know that the interest is very, very high, not just from Arsenal, but from other clubs. Bissouma's at the sort of stage of his career now where he wants to move on and take the next step. So I think there's an understanding at Brighton that he will leave this summer. It's just a case of who to. Will Liverpool move? We've just seen Wijnaldum leave Liverpool. Are they going to come in and make a move for Bissouma? Potentially Manchester United on the lookout for a central midfielder. Then there's Arsenal as well. So, I do think he's certainly going to go this summer, but I can't sit here right now and say to you, yes, Arsenal are going to sign him, because there's going to be so much interest in him. I think Arsenal are in a good position if they can do a swap deal for Brighton. They've got some players that they could interest Brighton. We've seen there's been links with Nketiah. That kind of makes sense. Nketiah, I think, will certainly be one of the players leaving Arsenal. Brighton needs strikers. Nketiah is a very good young English striker. There would be no surprise if Brighton are interested in him. I think even looking at Ainsley Maitland-Niles, if you're going to lose Bissouma, you're going to be weakening your midfield. Could Arsenal offer Ainsley Maitland-Niles to tempt them into swapping there? And then you've basically got a like-for-like replacement going into the Brighton squad. So I think Arsenal got an opportunity possibly of doing some sort of swap deal with Brighton for him. But we all know swap deals at the end of the day, they sound good, they sound easy, but they never are easy because there's so many different pieces of the puzzle that have to fit together to get the deal done. So we'll have to wait and see on that. But Bissouma, all I can say of it, he's a player that Arsenal like, he's a player Arsenal are looking at, but there's going to be plenty of interest in him this summer. Lots of you asking about Sander Berge. I haven't heard anything myself about Sander Berge. I have to say, obviously, I've seen the link. They've been going on for a fair while now, but I haven't personally ever been told that Arsenal are in for Sander Berge. So there's not really anything I can add about it. Unfortunately, it's speculation. It's transfer stories that are coming from somewhere, but I haven't heard it myself yet. So I can't really add anything to what's already out there on Sander Berge. Mavropanos, someone's asking about. I think Mavropanos is going to go this summer. I'd be very surprised if he doesn't. I think he's obviously done very well for himself out in Germany, but I don't really think he features too firmly in Mikel Arteta's plans. So if Arsenal can get some sort of deal done for Mavropanos, then he'll be heading off this summer. Willian news, people asking about Willian. My understanding, I've seen there's been links with Chelsea from all accounts. The stuff with Chelsea is just rubbish. That's just not going to happen. He's not going to end up going back to Chelsea, but he could leave Arsenal this summer. There is that possibility, but as far as I'm aware, nothing is really active regarding Willian at the moment and a possible new club for him. There is the possibility of him leaving. Arsenal wouldn't be against it. I don't think Willian would be against it, but as far as I'm aware, he isn't close to any signing for anyone as it stands. Ryan Bertrand update. Someone's asking for there. There isn't one, not from what's last been out there. Bertrand got a lot of interest in him, a very decent free transfer on the market this summer. Arsenal have been in talks with his agent and about getting that deal possibly done, but other clubs are in for him as well. He's got a decision to make at some point during the summer, Ryan Bertrand, and that's the sort of stage we're at the moment. It's a case of him weighing up the offers that are out there and then making his decision. People asking about Matt Ryan. I still think there's an opportunity that Matt Ryan will come back to Arsenal this for next season. I think we're going to have to wait and see what happens with Bernd Leno. I've already put a story out about Arsenal liking Andre Onana, the Ajax goalkeeper, as a potential replacement for Bernd Leno. He is obviously serving a doping ban at the moment, so we have to wait and see what happens with that. But if that doping ban hearing or the appeal is going to be heard on early June. Should that appeal get reduced to 8 months, which they think it probably will, that he would be able to sign for a club and start training with them in July. I think he'll be able to start playing then in early October. Should that happen, then Arsenal will possibly look to firm up their interest in Onana. They also like David Raya, the Brentford goalkeeper, as well. So there's a lot to happen when it comes to the Arsenal goalkeepers this summer. But I do think that Matt Ryan is very, very able number two. He's clearly far better than Alex Runarsson, which has been a disaster of a signing for Arsenal. And it just feels like if you can get Ryan done, it's one that's very worth much doing. And I think we kind of saw with Matt Ryan's social post when he left as well, he kind of opened the door there to an Arsenal return, didn't he? I think we all saw that. And he's an Arsenal fan as well, so that makes a lot of sense. Edmund Tapsoba links. Lots of you are asking about. Again, this one I can't add anything to. I'm afraid it's not something I've heard of myself. I've seen the speculation, I've seen the rumours that are out there, but at the moment I can only class it as transfer speculation because it's not anything that I've been told myself or can sort of add any substance to. So sorry about that. How good is Miguel Aziz? Miguel Aziz is very, very good. Very talented young player. Going to play an awful lot for the under-23s, I think, next season. Potentially might even go out on loan. I think that's a decision that's going to have to be made for Arsenal next season. What do you do with these sort of young, talented players? Because you're not going to have any Europa League group stage games to give them any sort of senior football. So do you really want them just playing under-23s all season, or are you going to send them out on loan? Some players, as far as I'm aware, like Charlie Patino, very young, only 17, isn't being earmarked for loan at the moment. He's possibly want to come straight towards link up straight with the first team at some point, kind of like Bukayo Saka did. But other ones like Miguel Aziz, I feel like maybe a loan will be best for them. Someone asking about Ramsey there. Aaron Ramsey, I flashed by so quickly I couldn't actually see what you said. But if you're asking if Aaron Ramsey is going to come back this summer, then no, I'm afraid I can't see that happening at all. Oh, rumours that Ramsey wants to come back. Someone just said he may well do, but I don't think Arsenal are going to be signing Aaron Ramsey. So I don't think that's something that you guys should really worry too much about. I don't think Arsenal are going to sign Aaron Ramsey. Still lots of you asking about Grealish. Honestly, don't get excited about Jack Grealish. I don't know where this has really come from, and I just can't see it. I'm just not going to be able to afford Jack Grealish. Look, I hope I end up with egg on my face, and it turns out to be absolutely true. Again, I'm not basing this on any information that I've got. I haven't been told definitively by people that I speak to at Arsenal, no, we're not signing Jack Grealish, but it's just not one that's ever come up, and I'd be stunned if Arsenal signed him. Absolutely stunned. Laka's future is going to be decided very, very soon. I think we'll find out very quickly about what's happening with Alexander Lacazette. Talks will be being held over the next couple of weeks or so with him regarding his new contract, possible new contract, or whether he moves on. Personally, I've said it before, I think Arsenal should move on from Alexander Lacazette now. I think he's been a decent signing. He's had a good season. But yeah, you just don't, for me, I just don't think you really give Lacazette a new contract at this point. You're just going to tie yourself into another player who's then going to be over the wrong side of 30 very soon. Just feels like this is a good opportunity to move on, freshen up the striker department, go and try and get your, Oddison Edouard at Celtic, who you've been watching for a long time, and Arsenal have been watching him for a long time. Go and try and get a deal done. Bring the age of the strikers down. You've already got a striker in his 30s, and Aubameyang, whose form's a little bit of, well, it's not a little bit of worry, it is a worry. So maybe this is a good time to really freshen things up in the striker department. So personally, I think that you move on from Lacazette and turn your attentions to someone like Oddison Edouard at Celtic. Ivan Toney, lots of you are talking about. Indeed, I mean, that would be a bit of a risk. It was a risk that paid off for Aston Villa with Ollie Watkins, obviously, but I think Ivan Toney's going to cost a lot of money this summer, real lot of money, especially if Brentford end up getting promoted. So, Edouard's only got a year left in his contract at Celtic, not going to cost too much. I think you possibly get him for around £15 million. I think that could be a better deal for Arsenal at this point than trying to get someone like Ivan Toney. Camavinga, lots of you asking about Camavinga again. I wouldn't be too excited about him. I think he's going to end up at someone like Paris Saint-Germain if he does go this summer. Fabulous player, huge talent, player that Arsenal should be absolutely trying to sign. But I feel like if Camavinga's going to go this summer, he's going to end up probably somewhere like Paris Saint-Germain. Lots of you asking about Houssem Aouar, player Arsenal very much tried to sign last summer. Sounds like reports from France suggesting that he could be available this summer for certainly a lot cheaper than he was last year. I haven't heard that Arsenal have rekindled their interest in him. I think the fact that they're trying to sign Martin Odegaard, they're looking at Buendia. I think they've moved on perhaps from Houssem Aouar this summer. So I think Arsenal's best chance of signing him was last summer. Who am I rooting for in the Europa League final tonight? Oh, it's tough. It's got to be Villarreal. Look, I've got no issue with Unai Emery really. It wasn't a good fit for Arsenal. I was glad he left here. Didn't work out. But I've got no issue with him at all. And yeah, if it's the choice between who do I want to win, Villarreal or Manchester United, then it's Villarreal all day long. But I'm not even going to watch it, to be honest. Can't. It's just put too much pain, the fact that Arsenal aren't in it when they should have been. Can Maidenhead get promoted next summer? I highly doubt it. As much as I would love that for the chairman, Peter Griffin, who's a top guy, massive Arsenal fan as well. I can't really see Maidenhead get promoted next summer, no. Next season, no. Departures this season, some of you asking. All right, so these are the names that I think, a good chance of going. We've talked about some of the loan players. Guendouzi, I think will go. Torreira, I think will certainly go, whether it will be on loan again or a permanent deal. We'll have to wait and see. I think Ainsley Maitland-Niles will probably end up going. Joe Willock, that's one to be decided. Hector Bellerin, I think, will go. I'd be very surprised if Hector's still here at the moment. There's certainly all the feeling around everyone I've spoken to in and around Arsenal is that Hector will go this summer, and a new right back will be coming in, potentially a Lamptey or an Aarons or something like that. Again, we'll have to wait and see if Arsenal can firm up their interest in those sort of players and afford them. So I think those are the sort of players that are going to go. Alexander Lacazette, I've already mentioned. I think that's a possibility. Bernd Leno, that's a possibility. So there's huge amount of things to be done at Arsenal. Absolutely massive summer for them, for Arteta and for Edu as well. Someone talking about Hakimi there. Interesting news from today that Hakimi could be off this summer. Inter might have to sell him despite winning the league. A player that Arsenal absolutely like and have watched, but I think I saw. Was it Paris Saint-Germain? I saw a link with him today. So Arsenal might end up being priced out of a move for someone like Hakimi. Next Hairland into the first team. Someone's asking there. If you're asking me, someone who hasn't really made it into the first team yet, I'd say Charlie Patino. Absolute huge talent, massive talent midfielder. Unfortunately, got a hamstring injury towards the end of last season, just as he'd broken in the under 23s. Fabulous talent. Love him as a midfielder. Every time I see him, real quality. Everyone at Arsenal very, very excited about him. So he's my tip to be the next sort of superstar to come through from Hale End. Lots of you asking about Bissouma. I'm sure you must have joined this a little bit late then, so I'll go through one more time what I'm saying about Bissouma. In terms of him, it's just a case of can Arsenal win the race for him? There is an understanding at Brighton, as most people that you speak to around there think he will go this summer. It's just a case of who he moves to. Arsenal are one of the clubs interested in Bissouma, but there are plenty of others as well. And it's just a case of whether Arsenal can get that deal done. They're well set to do that in terms of they know the agent well. They've dealt with them before. Nicolas Pepe, very, very good mates as well with Bissouma. Bissouma's an Arsenal fan as well. So they're well placed to win that race for him, but it all going to come down to money at the end of the day. Thoughts on Tim Lewis's hairline? Someone asked, and I'm not sure me of all people are in the best position to talk about people's hairlines, to be honest. Someone asking if Rob Holden will leave this summer. No, I don't think so. I think Rob Holden is absolutely going to be here next summer. Someone asking about Richard Garlick's role. Well, he's in here now. He's head of football operations at Arsenal. He's the guy who's going to be dealing with all the contracts, getting the deals done this summer. Edu's obviously the guy who's the technical director, the guy sort of setting up the deals, getting them all done. But when it comes to the lawyer side of things, getting the actual paperwork done and dusted, that's Richard Garlick's role as it stands at the moment. Thoughts on Amari Hutchinson? Again, fabulous talent. He's up there with Charlie Patino. I think you're looking at those players. They're all going to be promoted into the under-23s this summer, going to play an awful lot more for them next season. Hutchinson, Patino, Aziz is already sort of playing at that level at times anyway. Flores as well, those sort of players. I think that's why Steve Boulders has been sacked as well. I think Arsenal see this real talent that are now just about to come through the 23s. They want a new sort of forward-thinking, modern manager to really guide them over the next couple of years, and that's why the decision has been made to move on from Steve Bolden. Per Mertesacker is now leading the hunt for a new under-23s coach. Matteo Pereira is number 10. Look, I like Pereira. I think he's great. I think he's done really well for West Brom this season, but I don't think he's going to be one of the players that Arsenal are going for. Willian Leaving, someone said, like I said earlier, that is something that could happen. The Chelsea links, as far as I'm aware, are utter rubbish. That's not going to happen. But in terms of could he possibly go somewhere else? Absolutely. I don't think Arsenal won't be against it. I don't think the player will be against it. But as far as I'm aware, he's not close to signing for anyone at the moment. Sacked a lot of them. Kolasinac, someone asked about I think Kolasinac will go this summer. It's just a case of if Arsenal can get something done for him. I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up leaving for free. Still got a year left on his contract, but I think Arsenal are in the situation they are with him as they were with sort of Mustafi and Socrates, and he'll end up probably leaving for free. Might even go back to Schalke where he spent end of last season. Right, everyone, I think that's it. I'm seeing a lot of questions coming, but they're all kind of ones that I've already covered already in this, about the likes of Mavropanos and Tony and Bissouma and people like that. So I think that I'm going to call time on this one now. Thank you very, very much for joining me. I'll try and do more of these throughout the summer, just to because I know you all enjoy them and you like getting your questions in. So I'll try and do more of these as we go on throughout the summer. But until then, everyone, please do enjoy the rest of your day. It's sunny out there for once, so go and enjoy the sunshine if you are in England. And I'll be back to speak to you very, very soon. Till then, everyone, have a good day. Stay safe.